Last month, I actually sat down and did the math on how much time AI agents were saving me across my business, the content, the courses, the socials, the newsletter, and the number came out to almost 90 hours a week. Not found time. Time that used to just disappear into tasks I don't do by hand anymore. Here's exactly what's doing that work. I'm Stuart, and for a while now, I've been building out a stack of AI agents that runs most of the content side of my business, the scripts, the videos, the socials, the newsletter, even the thumbnails. This isn't a roundup of 5 AI tools you should try. I'm walking you through the actual agents doing the actual work and what's still mine to do. By the end, you'll have the real workflow, not just the idea of one. Before any of this, content was the thing that ate my week without ever feeling finished. Every course needed a script, and every script started from a blank page, an hour or two, just getting the structure right before I'd said a word out loud. Every piece of long-form video needed to get cut down into reels, captioned, resized, and posted, one platform at a time by hand. The newsletter meant sitting down every week to gather what was worth sharing, write it up, format it, and send it, and thumbnails alone could eat an evening, because the wrong thumbnail means the video doesn't get watched, no matter how good it is. None of these were hard tasks on their own. That was the trap. Each one was small enough to justify doing myself, and there were enough of them to fill every spare hour I had. Here's the number that made it real for me. Building a full Udemy course used to take me over 60 hours, start to finish. Today, the same course takes me 10 hours, tops. That gap is when it became obvious the actual bottleneck in my business wasn't ideas or clients or content quality. It was just hours. I was the constraint. So here's what's actually running now. First, course scripts and development. I used to open a blank doc, stare at a lesson title, and lose an hour or two just getting from title to a script I'd actually record. Now I hand the title to an agent inside Claude Cowork, and it comes back with a structured, ready-to-record script, hook, body, the works, built the way I'd actually build it, not a generic first draft. I still read every word and fixed what's needed, editing now, not originating. Then, and this is the part that actually changed everything, that same system doesn't stop at one script. Feed it a full course outline, and it works through lesson after lesson, keeping the voice consistent across all of them. The hardest part of building a course solo, sounding like yourself, and lesson 40, the same as lesson 1. Second beat, social. This one used to be pure grind. Take a long video, find the moments actually worth clipping, cut them, caption them, resize them for every platform, then post each one by hand. Now that whole pipeline runs on its own. HyperAgent pulls the clips and gets them posted without me touching a timeline. Quick gut check. How many hours a week do you lose just reposting the same clip 5 different ways? Third, the newsletter. This was the task I resented most because it was genuinely valuable, but also the most repetitive. Gather what's worth sharing, write it up in the same voice every week, format it, send it. That's built into the same stack now. Hermes pulls together a draft every week in a voice I've already trained it on, and what used to be a 2 to 3 hour sit down is now a 15-minute review. And fourth, the one that ties it all together, the YouTube videos themselves, thumbnails included. The script comes out with the same pipeline as the courses. From there, it gets recorded, gets a B-roll pass, and the thumbnail options get generated instead of me opening an editor at 11 at night trying to find the right 3 words. Between those 4, that's most of the manual work gone. Not the judgment, just the hours it used to take to execute on it. If you want any one of these broken down in full, drop a comment telling me which, and that's the next video. So back to that number, almost 90 hours a week. That's not a projection I made up to sound good on a thumbnail. A single Udemy course alone went from 60 plus hours to 10. Multiply that across the scripts, the socials, and the newsletter. And that's where the 90 comes from. The tasks didn't get easier. They got handed to something else. And I kept the parts that actually needed me, the judgment calls, the final read-through, deciding what's actually worth saying in the first place. If you're serious about building something like this, instead of just watching someone else's version of it, head over to luminaryai.so. That's where you can go deeper on all of this. And if this was useful, subscribe. This channel is basically a running log of this system as I keep building it out.